So today I figured we'd continue our tradition of making a tier list of all the balance changes on my first impression to see how we think and then check back later. And let's just get into it real quick here. Try and be fast because you guys seemed to like that last time. So let's begin here. Vernacious Commando gained power. Really like that change. Helps scenario. Helps the card in general, which never was played outside the scenario. Kraken. I don't know about this one. It makes the Kraken worse when it comes back, but makes it easier to kill. I'm not a big fan, but I can kind of see it. Let's drop it there for now. Radovid, great change. He lost the power. He's easier to kill now. You can do 5 damage to kill him before his order. Otherwise, you're using a gold card to kill him to deny half his ability because he already got the other one on his deploy. So I like this. Rainfarn gaining or losing a power makes him better as a disloyal card. I like it. Toussaint I pretty much only saw in Mill, so same thing for this guy. Like good change. He lost the power. This card still gets spammed all the time, and it's just like Nausicaa. They spam it for 10 every time they play it. Or 12, I guess, actually. And 13 if they play it with the ranged and stockpile. So, yeah, this thing is just too much point slam. Then we have Joachim. He lost a power as well. Again, disloyal card lost a power. I'm pretty happy with that one. I like it. Artorias Vigo lost a power as well. He got buffed a while back, and I don't understand why he got buffed in the first place. I think I said it was a questionable change in the first place, and yeah, he just is really good. And Slave and Sublimate still good. Nausicaa, okay, we know where that's going. Imperial Practitioner, I'm kind of neutral. This card I only ever see in this, some kind of like cheese decks with Vilgefortz. I don't know, maybe it gets seen outside the play. I didn't see it, but I don't know, and I also don't really care because it's only played in like cheese decks. It's kind of weird. Pond Keeper is probably good. If you're gonna hit Symbiosis, I don't know. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this one. So I want to mention something else first, and that is Equinox. Equinox took a hit, so now it's a 10 for 6 on its play, just like a lot of the other cards, except it has a lot of setup. You have to play all natures for that. You play with Simloss, get the double. I think this was the hit that Symbiosis needed. I don't know about the Pond Keeper as well. If there was one or the other. If there was this wasn't here, we put this up there, but I guess we'll just put it here in neutral. Catachan, great change, love it. Catachan just doesn't compete for the 9 provision slots, even in Golden Necker Vampires, so hopefully this lets it see more play. Oxenfurt Guard, it's a really good V spender, but it was 4 with 2 armor, which is just too hard to remove for 4 provision spender, so I think this is probably a good thing. Troll Day, great change. It was too cheap. It needed a provision. It just does so much. It gives you a guy. It's always the guy they want. Yeah, it's always the guy they want. And then it just having the ability to clash on demand with another card in the same turn, removal purposes, is just incredibly strong. Then we have Dawnmere. Okay, we got Dawnmere and Cave Troll. I think this is part of a plan to nerf all of the defenders. And honestly, I'm not sure why, because I hardly see anyone play any defenders. I think I saw one Calculus player play a defender, one Witch's Sabbath Plague Maiden deck play a defender, and one Knight deck play a defender. I saw like 3 defenders of 250 games last season. So I don't know if they really need to be nerfed. So that's why that's going here. Hivemind, though, is incredibly strong. And Tatterwing is an annoying deck to play against. I didn't play against it that much, but I heard a lot of people did. So Hivemind's an insane card. The other problem with Hivemind is it just dies to Squirrel. If you Squirrel Hivemind, it's like one of the worst things that can happen to you in the game from a Squirrel. That and like losing a Ryogan or a Melusine or something. So yeah, it's probably good this thing got hit. Master of Puppets. This card is... I don't know why this is a 5. The most annoying thing about this is when it gets created off of stuff anyway. Like, they create this off of the Nilfgaard Runestone thing. I hate when that happens. They just get this, and you're like, wow, high roll, we lose. Putting it into decks at 5, it did go into Toussaint decks. And in particular in Mill, because you just boost up stuff, then take it with this. And yeah, it's, I think, probably deserving the 6 provisions. Speaking of 6 provisions, Highland Warlord. Amazing change here. Yeah, Highland Warlord Raids was the most popular deck I played last season, if you count Blaze of Glory and Patch Style Fury together. Completely dominated Skellige faction. This is probably a long time, should have happened a while ago, honestly. Then we have the change to Duchess Informant. She went to 4, which I thought was probably good, but turns out at 4, she's kind of too good, maybe. I'll put her here. I don't have my mind made up on that one. It's going there. Alula is an amazing change. And, no, I was just saying, this tier is not for Renfri. She goes in the bad category, though. I don't know why we're buffing Renfri again, or unnerfing Renfri. I don't know why. She was the most popular... Before she took her last nerf, she was the most popular deck in the game. And last patch, she's still very good. And Renfri decks were still good. So I don't know about this one. And then we've got... Well, I do know. I don't like it. We have Highland Warlord we put up here. Alula we put up here. Super cool card. If you make your deck based around her, I think she needs the extra power to help keep her alive and compete. She doesn't play for that much. And then her ability is an engine ability that's not like a consistent per turn effect. You have to play with specific other cards and synergies. So I think her being at 7 is pretty warranted. And hopefully this combined with this will be enough to make alternatives to Raid Warriors competitive in Skellige. Then we have the buff to the Elf scenario. Fine. This doesn't see too much play, so probably a good thing. This and the Commando almost makes me want to try out Elf Swarm, along with a couple other things we'll get to. Oneiromancy to 12. I don't know about this one, guys. Oneiromancy is really good. I get it's in line with buff all of the consistency cards, but Oneiromancy is like the best consistency card. So I don't know if this is the one we really want to be buffing, but I don't know. Well, sure, go ahead. I'm just going to put in question. Well, I'm not too sure about that idea. Professor, though, I do like. He lost his spot as a mid-range card. Like, you just don't play Professor. There's nothing really warranting you to play Professor. His 4 damage is less meaningful now because a lot of stuff's at 5 or 6. Doesn't kill it, and he's just too many provisions for it. Garvin's Treasure. I love this change. It should be better. It should be cheaper, significantly cheaper than Novigrad because Novigrad's a lot better. But hopefully this lets us see some different stuff in Syndicate other than just King of Beggars. Although I don't think this is enough to really compete with King of Beggars. But, you know, maybe we can do something with this. Avlok Sage. I really like this one. It kind of goes along with this, right? It helps you play the artifacts. And like I said, with this being the best suited, like stuff like Avlok Sage is what I would prefer. Avlok Sage, Mercenary Contract, those type of cards that aren't really that popular for reasons. Knighthood. Another one, Ermion. Whatever. Ermion. It's probably good. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again real quick. I'm not a fan of buffing all the consistency cards, but if they're all being buffed, Ermion should be buffed with them. It's one of those 8 provision ones that if those all should just be the same provision value. Fabiorn isn't because of Raid Warriors' dominance. He might get buffed soon, though. We'll see. Good change here on Brewis, because she is by far the worst of the Crones, and if you're playing her just for consume, well, I'm just kidding, we're not going to do that. But yeah, it makes the Crone. This just makes the Crone package 1 provision cheaper, is what it does, which I like because they don't see play, and they're one of my favorite parts of the original monsters. When I started playing Gwent, I liked that trio. Self Eater, Relics. Relics were not competitive. To be honest, nothing in Monsters I really saw a lot last season other than Renfri Crochet. But Self Eater is a really strong card. I'm putting neutral. I'm not too sure. Self Eater might. Well, it didn't see play. Yeah, I guess it didn't see play, and it was the focus of the deck. So this gained. It lost the provision. I mean, which is different than the power. We'll put it in neutral because I'm kind of on the fence. Shoop Stay Off, really great change here. Instead of buffing Renfri or unnerfing Renfri, one of the deck conditions, I like buffing the other deck building condition ones. Like Golden Necker is already pretty competitive. Renfri's super competitive. Shoop Stay Off, kind of behind those ones, right? It's one of those deck building condition cards that defines it. And I like seeing this one get a little buff here. You got Rodea a couple patches ago, a couple times I think actually. And hopefully this, along with some other stuff, will make it competitive. And the Oneiromancy here, as much as I dislike it, really helps you stay off too, because you always pretty much play that in that deck. Next up we have, hold on, this is Weavus, I think. I don't have the names right here. I think this is Weavus. It might be Whispus. I don't know, this is Weavus, I'm pretty sure. Because Whispus is the good one that does damage. And she faces the other direction. Yeah, this is Weavus. So I think, yeah, I like this. It buffs the package overall. She's the boost one. The boost one isn't that great. The damage one's good. Like 6 damage, pretty good. But I don't think this one's really worth, was really worth it. But 7 for 7, the extra value on her. Because one of them has to go first. And if it's not Brewis, it's going to be her. So I like this change. Chimera, fantastic change. I love Unit Arachis Swarm so much more than Chattering Arachis Swarm. This helps it a lot because you play it 3 times, right? You play it twice, then you play it off of the lock if you want to for the third one, and just really nice. Reinforced Trebuchet. No one ever plays this. You just get it off of Siege, and it's your worst Siege engine, so I like this getting a power. No one ever put this in their deck otherwise. Though, Whisperer, probably good. I played Whisperer in my Prism Pendant deck, and she was pretty decent in that. But Prism Pendant Golden Necker, but yeah, no one plays her, so it's probably worth it. Giant Toad, it's a good change. It's not going top tier because it's a reversion, but it's fine. Whatever. Yeah, well, not fine. Whatever. This is good. Death Wish, I just like disappeared after this card took a nerf. Naglfar Taskmaster. Probably good. Of all the Purifies, a lot of factions have their own Purifier. Like, this is like the worst one. Right? Because usually you want to purify your own card, which means the Scoia'tael one, the Elf, is better than this because you want to purify your own stuff most of the time. And Dominance is a harder condition sometimes than having like a second Elf or something. So an extra power to help make up for that, help make the Dominance a little easier is a good thing in my opinion. Then we have the Officer, another good change. Just another buff to elves, and this one was just whenever you got this off of whenever I got this off backup plan, I was reminded how bad the card was. So yeah, good change there. And then we have Imperial Formation, gaining a provision. I'm just not really a fan of the provision leader changes unless they're like really impactful. I'm not sure about this one. About the Imperial Formation, I thought Imperial Formation was like pretty fine. I played a bit of Soldiers last patch. It seemed decent still, but I guess not. I don't know. This, we'll see. Like, this will incentivize the Renfri that got unnerfed to go back into that faction, I think. But the change we didn't talk about, Nausicaa, does hurt that deck too. Then we have Double Cross. I don't know about the Double Cross one, guys. 15 to 16, Double Cross is a strong ability. I see a lot of Double Cross. But I guess it's not as good as Enslave, potentially, but I feel like Enslave would just lose a provision over this. Not the biggest fan. But anyway, guys, that is my first impressions of the patch. Alright, not the patch, of the patch. Yeah, of the patch. Of the Balance Council. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. What are your favorite changes? What do you dislike? Do you agree with me on stuff? And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Try to keep this one fast again, because you guys seemed to like that last time. And hopefully it was good. We'll see you next time. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.